Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Team Jesus Outdoors. Hey guys, we're already into March of 2024. The Detroit River is already fishable. There's guys already out there fishing. There's no better time, guys, to talk about the best jigging rod for Detroit River walleye. Well, hey guys, it's just that time of year. We're all dealing with a little bit of cabin fever right now. You've probably been tying up some stinger hooks recently, going through your soft plastics, trying to decide what you need more of. Maybe you've even put some fresh braid on your favorite jigging rod. But guys, this time of year, I guarantee you will start to see some Facebook questions. Guys saying, hey, what's the best rod reel combo for jigging walleye in the Detroit River? Or for that matter, jigging the St. Clair River or jigging the Saginaw River. And guys, there are probably 1,000 right answers, because a lot of it boils down to personal preference. But fellas, to me, the easy way to answer the question is to answer the question in two parts. What's the best budget-friendly rod reel combo for jigging, and what's the best rod reel combo for jigging? Let's start with the best budget because it's easier. In my opinion, the best budget-friendly jigging combo for most people is going to be a spinning combo. I've been running the Berkley Lightning Rod series for about 5 years now, and I've narrowed it down to the exact model I like, and I run these with a kastking Lancelot reel spooled with 6 or 8 pound fire line. When I first started buying these guys, they were very hard to find in a 6 foot, so I picked up a couple in 6.5 foot, and I ran those for a couple years, and they're okay, especially if you're fishing in the back of the boat. A 6.5 foot's not a big deal. The shorter rod really comes into play when you're running the trolling motor. But in any case, the 6 foot is really my preference. And I think the right action is a medium fast. And it's all about the rod taper, guys. It's where you want your rod to load up and stay loaded up when you're fighting a fish. A rod that's too heavy doesn't load up very much on a fish, and that creates slack in your line and gives the fish an opportunity to get off the hook. So you're better off with a medium action rod that stays loaded up while you're fighting an average size fish. And yet a medium is still plenty of backbone to get a good hook set, particularly when you're running braided line. I can't imagine a single good reason to run monofilament line. You hear guys talk about snagging their jig and having trouble breaking the line because of braid. It's because you're doing it wrong. When you snag your jig, you immediately want to point your rod tip at the snag, take up all the slack so that you have a tight line, grab your spool, and simply pull. The line will break at the knot every time. With a Berkley Lightning rod, 6 foot medium, fast, and a kastking Lancelot reel, you've got a rod reel package for about 80 bucks. If you're lucky and you catch either the rod or the reel on sale, you're into this combo for about 75 bucks. And that is the best budget rod reel combo you can get away with. But guys, the fact of the matter is there's a more efficient way to jig for walleye. That's a bait cast rod. A bait cast rod is only more efficient for jigging for walleye if your bait cast rod has a flipping selector. Bait cast reels with a flipping selector are a little more difficult to come by than they were back in the day. It was made popular by D. Thomas and his flipping technique that all the bass guys back in the 80s were familiar with. But guys, what a flipping selector does is when you depress the button, it lets out line, and as soon as you release the button, it stops letting out line. So you need to let out a few feet of line. You press the button, let out some line, finger off the button, spool's locked again. Guys, that creates a one-hand efficiency for jigging that you cannot get with a spinning reel. Think about what it takes you, think about the steps that it takes you to do with your spinning reel to let out a couple more feet of line. If you only need to let out a foot or two, you're probably going to grab the line and pull a little bit of slack, and you're going to pull a little bit of line off the drag, right? We all wind up doing that. Or you're going to have to open the bail and let off 3 or 4 feet of line because you're now in deeper water. But a bait cast reel and a flipping selector, you need 2 more foot of line out. You let 2 more foot of line out just like that. Guys, a bait cast rod with a flipping selector is the most efficient way to jig for walleye. Fellas, I think that you'll find that the most common bait caster you see for guys that use a bait caster for jigging is the Quantum Energy. The reason for that is the Quantum Energy is the bait cast reel that you most often see with a flipping selector. But you guys know that I'm a big fan of kastking products, and my preference of bait caster for jigging since the day it came out has been the kastking MegaJaws Elite. The MegaJaws Elite is available in 2 speeds. This is the MegaJaws Elite in 7.2 to 1, and this is the reel I've been jigging with for about 4 or 5 years now. Just a fantastic reel. But guys, this year I'm going to be trying out the MegaJaws Elite in the 9 to 1 ratio. That's right, you heard me correct. The MegaJaws Elite is also available in a 9 to 1 ratio reel. And guys, that brings up another point that makes a bait caster a superior choice to a spinning rod, is that your average spinning rod is a 5:1 to 1 gear ratio. Every now and then you'll see a 6 to 1, but most of them are 5 to 1. But moving up to a bait cast rod gives you a lot faster options. Here's the flipping selector. So they ship from the factory in the off position. You turn it to the on position. Now when you press the button, the spool spins. Release the button and the spool stops. Fellas, I'm telling you, a 5.5 to a 6 foot bait cast rod with a MegaJaws Elite with the flipping selector is simply the superior way to go when you're jigging for walleye. I like the MegaJaws over the Quantum because the MegaJaws is a little bit lighter. I feel like it's a little bit more ergonomic in the hand. And with the availability to get a 9-to-1 ratio, there's just no reason to look anywhere else. Now guys, like I mentioned before, bait cast rods are a little less easy to find in a 5.5 to 6 footer, and you'll probably wind up paying a little bit more money for a bait cast rod than you would a spinning rod. I know Denali makes a bait cast rod for jigging. Lamaglass may make one. If you stop by any of your good bait shops along the Detroit River, let them know you're looking for a bait cast rod in a 5.5 to a 6 foot model, medium fast, and I'm sure they'll be able to put you into a good rod. I'm sure the folks over at Andy's in Melvindale could find you a good 5.5 to 6 foot bait cast rod. I had a little trouble finding what I wanted, so I had a buddy of mine build me a custom 5 foot 9 incher. But guys, if you're serious about running the best jigging equipment on the river, in my opinion, this is simply it. They're far more efficient to operate with the flipping selectors, single hand operation. To me, they're just more comfortable to fish with all day. You get the faster gear ratio, and frankly, I'm convinced that you have better control over the fish at the side of the boat. So guys, I'll leave a link here at the end of the video for all the information on the kastking MegaJaws Elite. Guys, we're also going to leave a link here at the end of the video to our other channel, TJO Men's Ministries. Guys, with Easter right around the corner, now really is a great time to be thinking about your spiritual life. Now is a great time to be thinking about the things of God. And fellas, I encourage you to go over and check out that other channel, TJO Men's Ministries, where we will challenge you to think about the things of God. Think about what the Bible has to say about life and the life after. Brothers, thanks for watching another episode of Team Jesus Outdoors. God bless, tight lines. We'll see you guys on the water.